How you doing, YouTube? Back with another video, and today we are going to be painting some ghosts. Showing you some materials that I haven't shown you guys yet, some Angelus products, and of course always Angelus products that you're going to mix with your Angelus paint for the right materials. That way they're not too hard, too shiny, too dull, that they don't come off, most important, when you rock your shoes. So we're going to be doing a pair of the new triple whites. These aren't the creams. There's a little bit of difference if you don't know the twos. Triple whites actually have the Sply 350. Take a black light to it. But nonetheless, we're going to be painting them today. So a few of the things you're going to be needing today, I like to add a little bit of GAC 900 when I do the top of the shoe, just to add a little bit more flexibility. I use Too Soft, and today we're going to be painting these bad boys red. And he wanted a bright red, so we decided with the fire red. You're going to need your red vinyl tape. I'm going to be using 2 different sizes today just to make it a little bit easier. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need a little brush to get in some of the crevices because I'm going to be airbrushing today. And then maybe an X-Acto knife. I hardly ever use these things, but maybe. And then of course, your Angelus black gloves. Always use your gloves, keep your hands clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start prepping the shoe. I'm gonna take out the laces, and then I'm actually going to tape the midsole. And remember guys, taping is key for a clean custom. So spend more time taping than you actually do painting, and your custom will come out a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out right now. I'm sure you guys know how to tape, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got it all completely taped, and I make this makeshift little paper insert because I'm not gonna be painting the inside of the shoe. I know a lot of guys, they like to paint the inside of the shoe. I think it looks good on some customs, but on this particular one, the customer requested not to. So the reason why I put the paper in there is to keep me from spraying down in. And what I'll do is, after I'm done spraying, I'll go in and do the rest of the liner with a paintbrush to make sure that's nice and even. The only other thing I use the paintbrush for is basically to get inside the crevices around the heel tab inside. That's pretty hard to get with an airbrush. For the most part around the bottom, I know a lot of people like to hit that with a brush as well. I do not, because sometimes what can happen is if your paint is too runny, it will absorb and actually go underneath where the sole is, and when you go to rip that tape off, you can actually see that paint through that sole. So be careful spraying around the bottom, just in case, you know, that does happen. So just be aware of that. Make sure you're not putting a ton of paint in that area. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this other one with the brush, and then I will be back to start airbrushing. I'll change the angle of the camera to show you guys exactly how light I go on each one, and what I do with a heat gun, because you're gonna need to do the heat gun activation with the Too Soft. You do need a heat gun. A blow dryer will not work. It needs to get about 300 degrees with this product. But I will show you all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the paintbrush work on this, and then I'll be back. All right, I got everything ready to go. Everything's prepped, paint's made. Mix it with the 2 thin 1-to-1 ratio. So you can have, you know, 3 milliliters of red paint, 3 milliliters of Too Soft, just 1 and 1. So however much paint, how much Too Soft, pretty easy math. I got it ready to go. Like I said, I got everything painted off, got my inserts in there so I don't spray the inside of the shoe. I got the edges already done that it's hard to get with the brush. And now I'm gonna slowly do a couple coats, and I'll show you here. Like I said, around this bottom, you gotta be careful that your paint's not too thin or you're not adding too much, because I have seen it leak and it's visible underneath that sole. So you do need to be careful of that. And I'm just adding some light coats. Nothing crazy. Making sure I get in all the crevices. And I'm gonna be doing 2 or 3 coats just to make sure that I get everything that I need to. not in any hurry to get this covered. I don't want to lay down a bunch of paint because I want this to be as soft as possible. So the less paint you use, of course, the softer it's going to be. But you do want to make sure that you do get enough in there to make sure that you are getting all the fabric. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and finish this first coat, and then I'll show you with the heat gun. I'll be right back. All right, so I got my first coat down, and I've been letting it dry, air dry by itself, just so I can start hitting it with the heat gun. And like I said, you want to use a heat gun because if you don't, it's not going to get hot enough. This thing has to get up to about 300 degrees. Don't get too close to the shoe because you might melt it or burn it. And one thing with this tape too, this red vinyl tape, once it gets hot, it shrinks. And so what you think you have covered is not covered no longer. So make sure not to get that tape too warm. And I'm just applying a little bit of heat. I'm not applying a lot. When I take off the tape and I'm completely done with the coats, then I will completely hit this with a heat gun and make sure that it's cured and activated. That way that the material is soft and not stiff from all the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply me another coat of paint. This one looks like it might take 2 or 3 just to make sure. I'll try to get it in 2 because like I said, the less paint, the better, but the coverage is, it's all right. It's not as bright as I thought it would be. And like I said, that's just because mixing it down with 1-to-1 ratio of the too thin, but it's covering pretty well. I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another coat and I'll be back to show you guys. All right, so I got the second coat on and I'm happy with the coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that enough for the upper boot, and I'm gonna start taking out all this and peeling off all the tape. Like I said, I'll go in here and I'll clean all that up with a brush and do all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now and rip all this tape off, and I will show you the midsoles when I get back. I'm gonna go ahead and show this real quick. Just so you can get an idea of the color and okay, I will be right back. All right, so I got all the tape off. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit these uppers with the heat gun for a good 3 to 5 minutes to make sure that they get fully cured. That makes them, they're nice and soft. Like I said, the heat gun's the only way to do it. You're not gonna get it with a blow dryer. So I'm gonna sit here and I'll do this for about 3 to 5 minutes, and I will be back as soon as I'm done. All right, so I got them all heated up. 5 to 7 minutes, I think I went. I was originally gonna go to 3 to 5, but it took a little bit longer. I could still feel it stiffened up, so I went a little bit longer. So now what I'm gonna do is take this and I'm gonna add a little bit of GAC to it. This is the GAC 900. You can also get this from, making a mess, from Angelus. I like to add this just around the edges just because it adds a little bit more flex. I want to be able to have the shoe flex as much as possible without cracking the paint or being too stiff or anything like that. So I just add a little bit of GAC into this, and I'm gonna mix this up real quick. I'm gonna take my Angelus brush and I'm just gonna lightly just dab on the inside, just right where this crosses over, just to give it a cleaner look, factory as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around the whole shoe, and then I will come back and show you what the result is. All right, so I got the insides painted all the way around. Gives it a nice clean look when you keep the inside of the shoe white. I went ahead and I already did the temperature with the heat gun, brought it up to 300 degrees for about 3 to 5 minutes on the sock liner. That way, you know, there's nice flex to it. Like I said, I added the GAC 900 to that just to give it a little bit of flexibility, because just getting your foot inside there, you know, you got to have a little extra stretch. So the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just lace these things up, and they're good to go. He wanted to keep the laces the same color as the sole. Just go back with the factory cream laces, and I'll lace them up and I'll be right back. All right, well, yesterday I didn't get to shoot the end of this video. It got kind of late, so I'm gonna do it today. Here they are, finished product. Inside. Grab the other one real quick. Feel great. They also, you know, how much paint I put on these things, 2.5 coats. With the chemical added, too soft from angelusdirect.com, and of course I use some GAC 900 on the upper part just because they stretch a little bit more when you're putting these things on. They do feel great. They feel soft, they're bright, and like I said, this shoe turned out really good. I'm pretty stoked. I'm sure the customer will be really happy. He also wanted me to make him a hoodie, and I know some people might hate this hoodie, or a lot of people might appreciate this hoodie, but he wanted a Adidas over checks hoodie to match. But if you like the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Check out my link. If you're looking for stencils, if you're looking for anything to do customs, you're either going to go to my website, JSM801, or you're going to go to angelusdirect.com. That's where I buy all my products. I use their paints, their additives, their brushes, their cleaners, and I love their products, guys. So hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with a new video soon. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.